Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to start with our paper 2, which is psychology paper, and we will go serially. So we have chosen unit 1 and the name of the unit is Emergence of Psychology, and the topic that we will touch today is academic psychology in India pre-independence era. So the development in the field of psychology before independence. So let's get started. Okay, so let's start with our topic. We are starting with unit 1. The name of the unit is Emergence of Psychology, and the topic to be touched today is academic psychology in India pre-independence era. So the development in the field of psychology in India before independence. Okay. Now, as this topic is not very conceptual and it's more about the history of psychology in India, and we need to just learn facts, I have put the topic point wise. So let's go through the points one by one. So number 1 point. The psychology of the Western origin was first introduced as a subject in Philosophy Department of Calcutta University. That means psychology as a subject was not introduced in a specified department for psychology, but it was rather introduced as a subject in Philosophy Department of Calcutta University. And we all know that philosophy and psychology are related, isn't it? Now, second point. Sir Brajendranath Seal had first drafted the very first syllabus for experimental psychology. So if the question is there, who drafted the first syllabus for experimental psychology? What will be your answer? Sir Brajendranath Seal. Okay, third point. He also established a small psychological laboratory in 1905, but it did not last long. Fourth point, and it's very important. The first psychology department was established in 1916 at Calcutta University. So here, from the same point, you can actually expect two questions. One is the year in which the psychology department was established and the university where the department was established. So what is the year? 1916. And what is the name of the university? Calcutta University. So always remember this. Fifth point. Who was the head of the department of the first department of psychology? Professor Narendranath Sengupta. Okay, remember this also. Sixth point. Who was the successor of Professor N.N. Sengupta? Professor Girindra Shekhar Bose. So Professor Girindra Shekhar Bose succeeded Professor Sengupta. Now, in 1922, he founded the Indian Psychoanalytic Society, which was affiliated to the International Psychoanalytic Society in 1924. So who founded the Indian Psychoanalytic Society? Professor Girindra Shekhar Bose, and in which year? 1922. And it got the affiliation from the International Psychoanalytic Society in 1924. Okay, another important point. The Indian Psychological Association was established in 1925. Ninth point. Professor Girindra Shekhar Bose was the first recipient of a doctorate degree in psychology in India. So who received the first doctorate degree in psychology in our country? Professor Girindra Shekhar Bose. Now here I want to give you a homework. Can you please search and write the answer in the comment section of this question. Who was the first female recipient of a doctorate degree in psychology in India? Will you do that? Please comment below. Okay. 10th point. An applied psychology wing was started in 1938 by Department of Psychology, Calcutta University. 11th point, 1938 again. So we have already come across a point regarding the year 1938 that an applied psychology wing was started in the Department of Psychology, Calcutta University. But 1938 is remarkable for many other reasons also. So 1938, a very important year in the history of psychology in India. How? So in that year, eminent psychologists like Carl Jung, Mayers, and Spearman had been invited to the Science Congress. Now, Science Congress is something till date which is held every year in the month of January, and there are about 30,000 scientists as members in this body, and even Nobel laureates often visit the Science Congress and they speak at the summit, and it's a very important event. Okay, so in the year 1938, Carl Jung, Mayers, and Spearman had been invited to the Science Congress. And in that very year and in that very summit, Carl Jung was awarded the honor degree by Calcutta University. Okay. 12th point. Which is the second department of psychology in India? The second department of psychology in India was established in Mysore University in the year 1924. And who was the HOD? I mean head of the department? He was M.V. Gopalaswamy. Okay, he was an eminent psychologist, M.V. Gopalaswamy, and he is even credited with the establishment of the first radio center in Mysore. Okay, so he was culturally also very inclined. 13th point. The third department of psychology was established at Lucknow University, and the year was 1929. Now, one more credit to M.V. Gopalaswamy, the head of the Department of Mysore University Psychology Department. He had set up an animal laboratory for the researches on various topics. Okay. 15th point. In this point, I have elaborated some famous associations. Now, Professor N.N. Sengupta, he was closely associated with Hugo Munsterberg, the famous psychologist. Professor Girindra Shekhar Bose, he was close to which famous psychologist? Sigmund Freud. And Professor M.V. Gopalaswamy, he was mentored by Charles Spearman. So as matching type questions, you may actually expect this. So point to be remembered. 16th point. In 1946, Patna University started two separate full-fledged departments of psychology. One was the Department of Experimental Psychology and another was the Department of Applied Psychology. Now the Department of Applied Psychology was instituted at Institute of Psychological Researches and Service. So this is under Patna University, and in today's time it is a very prominent institute. But what was the purpose of this department then? There were two purposes: providing teaching in applied psychology and providing guidance and counseling to those who needed. And right now, what are the two important courses run by this? The courses are postgraduate diploma in clinical psychology and postgraduate diploma in applied criminology. Okay. 18th point. The first director was H.P. Maiti of Calcutta University. That means the first director of Institute of Psychological Researches and Service was H.P. Maiti of Calcutta University. 19th point. In 1950, Dr. Gardner Murphy visited India as the UNESCO consultant to Government of India on social tension. This institute was selected as one of the research centers. So, though this event is of post-independence, still, as a reference to this particular institute, this point has been put here that Dr. Gardner Murphy, who had visited India as the UNESCO consultant to Government of India on social tension, and in 1950, for this same purpose, this institute was selected as one of the research centers. Okay. Another important point, and this is the last point in this series, the first official journal of psychology, the Indian Journal of Psychology. And who was the editor? Professor N.N. Sengupta. So if I put the question as, what is the first official journal of psychology? Your answer will be the Indian Journal of Psychology. And who was the founding editor? Professor N.N. Sengupta. So we come to the end of this video. Hope it was helpful. Thank you for watching, and please like, share, subscribe and press the bell icon. And that's all for today. Bye bye.